There is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world. And that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim. The Genesis 6 narrative states that the Nephilim are on the earth in those days and also afterwards. If that's true, can we find evidence that corroborates this? I'm L.A. Marzulli. Join me as we go on the trail of the Nephilim. Okay, this is from the J-Post, Jerusalem Post. I think you'll find it interesting. Where is biblical Goliath buried? We'll get into that and so much more, folks. But first, a word from our trusted sponsor, Noble Gold. Did you know Noble Gold's team of precious metal experts have helped thousands of worried investors like you to build and preserve wealth through times like these? Find out why gold, silver, and IRAs are the answer to inflation and financial contagion. Folks, I got to tell you, my wife and I invested some money in Noble Gold, and I'm glad we did, especially with what the economy's doing. Talk to a personal precious metal expert today. This month, they're gifting a free 3-ounce silver American Virtue coin with every qualified IRA above $20,000. Folks, you can't go wrong with Noble Gold. That's why my wifey and I invested with them. Call 877-646-5347 or find out more by visiting noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. There's the link on your screen, 877-646-5347. Give them a call today, folks. So here it is from the Jerusalem Post, from the J-Post. Where is the biblical Goliath buried? Perhaps where Jesus was crucified. Now, I've heard this before. There's a book by Robert Reland called Jesus in the Third Temple and the Red Heifer, something like that. I used to have the book in my library. It burnt. It's fairly thick, but it's a great book, and I really need to reorder it again. So this is what it says. No excavations have been carried out as of yet. The proposed area is quite literally within the confines of a Church of the Holy Sepulchre. So let me go on. Biblical scholars have come up with a curious theory. Calvary, the hill just outside of Jerusalem, is the location of David's famous battle with Goliath that ended with David burying the giant man's severed head, according to the Daily Star. Again, Robert Reland talked about this in his book. It's fascinating. They also believe that if the area is excavated, archaeologists will find Goliath's skull. Researchers are looking for solid proof that the skull is buried at Calvary, which is where Jesus was crucified, according to the New Testament. Highlighted. No excavations have been carried out there as of yet. The area is quite literally within the confines of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Experts do, however, claim that even if excavations are greenlit and no skull is found, that location is still the place where the historic battle took place. Once again, here's from the J-Post. Rick Schenck from the Bethlehem College and Seminary speculated, David took the severed skull to Jerusalem. Odd, because Jerusalem was not David's capital, but a city of God's enemies. What did he do with the giant head, the head of the bronze serpent? Perhaps he impaled it on a hill outside the city, visible to all. He added hundreds, this of course is from Rick Schenck from the Bethlehem College and Seminary. He added hundreds of years later, Jesus was crucified at the place of the skull outside of Jerusalem. But why was that place called Golgotha in Jesus' day? The text does not tell us, but it is intriguing that this place name sounds very much like Goliath. Whether or not Goliath of Gath, right, Golgotha, think about it, right, is the correct etymology of Golgotha, it was in this very city to which the head of Goliath was taken. It was on this very hill where Jesus' feet were pierced by the nails. Here's something to think about. And I get it, it's a lot of speculation. I've actually talked about this with Mondo Gonzalez, and it is a stretch, Goliath of Gath, Golgotha. The etymology there, it's, we just don't know. But what intrigues me more than anything, and this is the work of Robert Reilland once again. So the severed head, first of all, let's back up. Goliath is a Nephilim. There's no doubt about that. Let's go back to this shot right here of David holding the severed head. And the head actually should be at least twice as large as what we see here, but it's not. David's a boy, and that's a boy carrying the severed head. But Goliath was at least 9 feet tall, more than likely 12 feet tall, really big guy. You go up, you go out. He was huge, all right? So he severs the head because it's the only way you can kill a Nephilim is to sever the head. How do I know that? In modernity, and we won't talk about this, but there was a place, it was in our Watches series, some of you know exactly what I'm talking about, where they encountered a giant and they said, let's shoot him in the head, shoot him in the head. And they shot the giant in the head and down he came. He basically decapitated him. So it's just the only way, in my opinion, that you can kill a Nephilim is to completely decapitate him. And of course, that's something we really don't want to advise you to do if you think someone's a Nephilim, to go around and decapitating people. That's not what we're saying here. I want to make that really clear. But if you wind up seeing a 12-footer, think again. But I digress. So let's move on here. Goliath is a Nephilim, okay? Goliath is a Nephilim. And why would David take the severed head and carry it back and bury it there? And then Jesus, if it's true, it's an unbelievable synchronicity between the two events, thousands of years apart, because the Nephilim are the offspring, the seed of the serpent that we read about in Genesis 3:15. Think about the unbelievable, if it's true, if they could prove it. It's in my wheelhouse. It is profound, supernaturally profound in ways that blow my mind even now just talking about it. Goliath is a Nephilim. He is the seed of the dragon. Your seed will be at enmity, at war with the seed of the woman. Seed of a dragon, offspring of a dragon, will be at enmity, at war with the seed of the woman. The proto-evangelium, the seed of the woman, one coming from her, will crush the dragon's head. What happened on Calvary? See where I'm going with this? So let's just say David takes the head, puts it on a stake on top of Golgotha, right? And then it's buried, let's say. And then centuries later, Jesus is crucified in the same spot, and that blood comes down on Golgotha? Are you kidding me? If it's true, the implications, the supernatural implications of this are staggering. Absolutely staggering. I've been there. Here's a shot as you walk into it. You can see, let me show you where the eyes are. I'm going to get up here real quick. So the eyes are right here. You can see that right there. And I'm going to zoom in on that in the next slide. So this apparently is the skull. You can also see that it is a bus station, and the Arabs control it. So isn't it funny how the Arabs and the Muslim control the Temple Mount, and they control the site of Golgotha. And let me do this. I can't even believe I did it like that. Okay. So let's move here. This is a real good close-up of it, and you can see that you just can't go wandering around it. It's been defaced over the centuries. I had somewhere pictures that were you can go back and you can just Google it. Pictures of Golgotha, let's say in the latter part of the 19th century, and they're there, and it really does look like a skull. So this apparently is, you can see the eyes and the nose. This is the place of the skull, allegedly. I have a shot of it. Right next door to it is what's called the Garden Tomb. Is it the tomb of Jesus? We don't know. Nobody knows. And people dispute this. And I've been in that tomb, and it's, could it be? Yeah, and it's right next to the Golgotha. So there's the Garden Tomb. And it says when he was taken off the cross, a short distance away was a new tomb cut, and that's where they took him. Other people are saying, no, it happened on the Mount of Olives. But, we just don't know. That's why if they had the green light to do an archaeological dig and can find evidence of that, it would be absolutely profound. So all that to lead up to our Spiral of Life tour on the Trail of the Nephilim. We will be going to this site right here. We will be going to Golgotha. I will be lecturing there. We'll be talking about the Garden Tomb. You'll see both sites and you can decide for yourself. October 8th to October 19th, the Israel Tour 2023. There's no other tour like it. It strictly deals with Nephilim sites. We will be going into the Old City. There'll be some free time. We go underneath the Temple Mount. We look at these huge megalithic stones. We go to Golgotha. We go to Mount Hermon. We go to Gilgal Raphaim. We go to Tel Gezer, which is an ancient Canaanite site. We go and look at the dolmens. It's going to be great. Please consider signing up. I hope to see you there. Anyway, that's it. Also, our UFO disclosure, we're almost done. We're almost getting caught up. We had such a huge backlog of orders, but we're getting close. Please be patient. Yours is on its way. Number 4, I think we can wrap it up this week. I really do. Gil's coming up on Thursday and Friday, and we'll be working, or Thursday and Saturday. I'm not sure exactly what, but it doesn't matter. But he'll be coming up, and we should be finishing it. And it is absolutely gut-wrenching and visceral. You're going to want to see this film. And we will be releasing it probably right around Thanksgiving, God willing, and we'll put all 4 together and we'll have a bonus on that, and you can check that out. But thanks so much for watching On the Trail of the Nephilim, and it's one of my favorite shows to do. We'll be back here tomorrow with our weekly UFO update. You won't want to miss this, and of course, today is election days, and I'll just leave it at that. Go out and vote. Thanks so much for watching On the Trail of the Nephilim. Remember, there is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world. And that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim. Thanks so much for watching.
They got their knowledge from the heavens.
He saw it, said, whoa, that's a UFO.
This orb comes up and it's bright orange.
I'm not wanting to make full eye contact with these things. But from what I did see when I did look at them, they're like they're soulless.
It was right directly above us right here, and then it started tilting and moving up like that.
All of a sudden I was being lifted about 3 feet off the ground.
It was going slow. I was walking right underneath it.